Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Steven Universe review. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Serious Steven. This one is complicated because, well, I think it's a okay episode. It's just okay. That's the thing. But let's get started. So it starts off with all these weird, flashes, right? We keep cutting back between Steven's face and this, blurriness. And all of a sudden we see the crystal gems. They're all in, cups. And it's just, things are destroyed. People are scattered. And boom, we jump to 2 weeks later. The gems are in this warp pad, and they head to the strawberry fields. This is our first introduction of the strawberry fields. And Steven falls in the strawberries, gets covered in jam, and gets attacked by butterflies. I guess he had a few too many thoughts. But they walk up to this giant upside-down pyramid. Okay, that's kind of cool. And they walk inside, and of course I have to address the temple art. You can't talk about this episode without addressing that. We see rose quartz with a diamond object attacking presumably white diamond. And there's also another figure off to the side with a bunch of arms reaching towards it. Interesting, isn't it? There's a lot that can be implied here, and it makes things really complicated. But yeah. And then there's this triangle in the middle. Steven flicks it, and all of a sudden they get set down to this room with just I think they said 16 doors. So they decide to split up, and Steven goes with Garnet. And they come to this first room where it's like a light puzzle where you have to step through tiles. Because Steven's trying to be serious Steven, to take the mission seriously. So that way they don't have a repeat of the teacups. They finish that room, because Steven almost botches it by stepping on the wrong tile. And they move on to the next room, which is full of spikes, which Steven accidentally activates. And they get off that one, but of course Steven's not really taking anything really seriously, because he's tuning his ukulele. And he's also feeling woozy, he's not feeling very well. And they get into this next room with all these swinging blades and whatnot, and spikes on the floor, and lava. Just, it's overkill. Great. And Steven, we get a flashback to 2 weeks where we see Steven on the teacups, and we find out he has motion sickness. And that's why because he jumped off of the teacup, surprisingly lived, and just destroyed everything. But basically Steven had passed out during that time, and Garnet carried him across the room. Anticlimactic, really. And they get out the other side, and they find Pearl and Amethyst, who have basically just been running around, because you go into one room, walk a straight line for 3 rooms, and then come out at some other point. It'd be a really interesting, dungeon in a video game, right? This is actually kind of cool. And I wanted to point out the insignia on the floor here. It's the 3 triangles with the triangle in the middle. It's interesting that we see it here of all places, because we definitely do see this at other points in the show, and I'll get to it when we do. But that makes me wonder, when was this temple made? Because of the cave art with Rose, and now this logo, when? I don't know, honestly. But that's another interesting idea all on its own. So, Garnet punches her way through the floor, and they end up in this really cool-looking room with just a bunch of, triangles rotating around it. And Garnet throws Steven at this pillar in the center, and he goes and grabs the gem in it, but it, rotates the head and smiles at him. I wonder what that means. Because, how this gem worked, right? How it's linked to the temple, how when he takes it out, the temple explodes, how the gem reacted to it. What is this thing really? Honestly, it's a theory in and of itself. Maybe I'll start doing mini theories. We'll see. But yeah, the temple explodes, right? Like I said. So, yeah, they get out, Steven gets the gem, and then the butterflies come and get revenge, right? And yeah, it's an okay episode. There's a lot that can be implied from it. But yeah, and everything else, the teacups, okay. The temple design is kind of cool, but everything in it's just okay. I don't know. It's okay. But I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.